This is Harvard on the Map, presented by the Harvard Graduate School of Design, covering innovative ideas and thought leaders in digital cartography, Earth observation, and all things geospatial, with your host, Jennifer Horowitz.
Hello, and welcome to Harvard on the Map. I'm here with Shan, who is one of the co-founders and the Chief Product Officer of Unfolded. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So first, Shan, I've followed your career for so long. You're such an inspiration to me, genuinely. And I wanted to start with how you came to be at Unfolded.
That's a long story, but since you follow my career, you probably know that I originally studied architectural design, in the person who actually draw buildings. So I, during my education, I always have this, passion for engineering. I felt like I will be an engineer one way or another, but I also really like drawings and art and design. So I kind of, as I was choosing my, initial, what do I do for initial major in college, I decided to do architecture because it's like, you can do engineering, but you can also do design. And I also got my master's in architecture. So I did full 7 years of architecture education. But as I started my first job as a architecture firm, I slowly kind of realized that the engineering part of architecture wasn't really there for an architect because, mostly you're designing and you hire an actual structural engineer to draw it for you. You actually don't do much of the systematical thinking and math and physics. So I slowly realized that, I kind of feel like I would want to do more kind of systematical thinking rather than just drawing. So I started thinking, what would be my, if I want to change to something else, what would be it? And as I was exploring, I came across this a special program at MIT. It's actually for people with architecture background. It's called Master in Architectural Studies, focusing in design computation. So it's a Master of Science program for people who wants to get more into computer science and see how computation can help designers and architects, and kind of exploring a joint domain in that regard. So I felt like that would be a good program for me if I want to explore, beyond architectural design, what else I can do with the new acquired skill of computer science. So I applied and I got accepted into the program. I spent 2 years at MIT. As my time there, I actually studied computer science. I started programming in C, in Python, JavaScript, and then I come upon this lab at MIT called Sensible City Lab. It's a urban informatics labs. They do a lot of projects at the joint of urban data visualization and data analysis. I felt like that's super interesting to me because it's it can use my knowledge and my architecture training in terms of spatial design and city studies, but it also allowed me to use my computer science skills where I can actually write the program for data visualization. So, as I was exploring at my times at MIT, I decided data visualization is something that I'm really, really interested in. I can do almost half design, half programming, sometimes even more programming, which is great. And, that's kind of how I discovered visualization as the way to go. And as I was graduating, I trying to find, positions that relate to data visualization. And I was pretty lucky at the time where I went to a career fair. I met at the time the head of data science at Uber. So Uber, I think it was in 2014, where Uber is still, kind of new company, but I think at that time they already valued 10 billion, but not compared to what it's today. So I got to talk to him. and I showed him my work. He's actually looking for someone who can help him to visualizing the vast amount of, data that Uber are collecting on the platform. So it kind of become like an instant hit where, I felt like it's extremely interesting position where this person actually want to do something in visualization, and was so challenging that Uber has of collecting a massive amount of data and trying to analyzing it. And also the impact of a Uber is changing the way that people travel in cities, and all of them really matches what I want to do, and also what my kind of architect at heart wants. So that just become a natural fit. So I went to Uber immediately after graduating from MIT, and I spent almost 6 years, to 5 years there. Yeah, 5 years there. I was actually the first person on the data visualization team, and we, starting from this one-person team where I started to helping data science and engineers at Uber to build visualizations, help them understand what is in the massive amount of city data, and it helps them to make policy changes, help marketing people better understand the operation of cities. So all of that has become my job, and in the end, we grow this visualization team. Me and my manager, we grow this visualization team from 1 person to a 40-person team. So that was a very fun experience and a lot to learn. And it's as we're doing it, we also I wrote a program called Kepler GL. It is a program to visualizing vast amount of geospatial data inside browser and give you this quick explore, quick visualization, help everyone that don't have to code. They can just drop the data in and see visualizing maps very quickly. So that's a program I wrote initially, help myself to better do my job better and faster. But also I realized that's a very useful program for people who don't know much about computer science, or don't know much about geospatial or GIS. So it's become really popular internally, and in the end we open sourced it, and that become my thing and my baby for the last 3 years where I was at Uber. And in the end, we think that Kepler is a tool to visualize geospatial data. It's not limited to just Uber's transportation data. It can be used in any kind of geospatial data source like raster, satellite imagery, and demographic and POIs and telemetrics, even self-driving cars, right? So I feel like there's a great potential in this domain, and with the tool that we already built and open source, we want to kind of push it to the next level, make it more generic to the geospatial industry. And then, kind of, it's more to me, it's like Geo 2.0, because originally geospatial is just about GIS, right? It's about buildings, rivers, landscapes, farmlands, understanding the environment. And now with the rapid development of GPS, geospatial is moving into a domain where GPS data, location data, data with trajectory, data with timestamp has become the majority of data we collected. It has become almost like an unfound line that people want to explore. So I feel like the platform that we build has significant potential to help people conquer this new type of geospatial data. And that kind of just prompts us, together with a couple of open source developers at Uber. We started a new company called Unfolded with the open source tool we built, and try to address geospatial as a new type of data source, and try to address the impact, the value that people can gain from understanding geospatial data.
Wow, what an incredible story. That is amazing. I have so many questions, but I don't want to take up your whole day, so I won't. So, by the way, Kepler, which if our listeners are interested, you say Kepler is your baby. It is an absolutely beautiful baby. It honestly, it is one of the most artistically beautiful ways to visualize data I've ever seen, and it's really artistically inspiring. You can tell that you definitely I don't know how much would you say your architecture background influenced sort of the artistic development of Kepler as a tool?
Yeah, actually, more than I realized is the way to put it,
Yeah.
because it's very natural to me to think about how color works, or
Yeah.
how shape works, or the hierarchy of information, what people are looking at, a visualization. So as I was designing or building Kepler, I kind of just take the things that naturally to me, build it into the function that people can just click around, explore, using the type of visual encoding that I'm most familiar with. Things like, what kind of color scale works best in a dark map, or how a dark map can be designed so it fade into the background, but letting the visualization layer on top of it better shine. So those kind of things are, naturally as an artist or as a designer, we think about, but not so much as, as a data scientist who just probably know one or two color scale, and then they don't usually think about it as that way. So, I like to sometimes when I was working with data scientists, like, they were like, why does the map Shan makes always looks better? So
Sure.
I take that as a compliment, and then I realized that, my artistic background really helps me when it comes to, designing visualization, or even building a tool set to design visualization.
Wow. Yes. I'm sure. I feel like sometimes I'll do data science work and I worked, it'll take me days. And then at the end of it, it's like, why isn't it pretty? But it's because I'm not Shan He. And that's why it's not as beautiful. But yeah, it's an incredible platform. And now, I mean, within the last week, the acquisition of Unfolded by Foursquare, incredible and so fast, such a fast, yeah, timeline. How did that come to be? I'm now that I can ask you about it.
Yeah, so I like to say that, because the tool we're building, I like to say that it's like a high-end, well-equipped kitchen for cooking geospatial data. And then as we were exploring what we can do with this tool, we realized we really do need some high-quality data that we can partner with.
Sure.
So initially, the conversation happens between, our CEO, Sina, went to have a meeting with product from Foursquare. We want to convince them to partner with us. Let us help you visualizing your data. Let us use our tool to help you analyze it. And little do I know, they're actually thinking about exactly the same thing, but instead of partnership, they want to actually buy us out. So they want us to be part of the Foursquare platform, because Foursquare is, I would say, the largest independent location data provider right now. And then they have a long history of, being the positive influence in how people understand data through Foursquare. So it can kind of become a natural fit where we are looking for high quality data and they are looking for the next generation geospatial analytics and visualization platform, and it just become a natural fit. So they took a big bet on us for sure, and they think that we can definitely add value to the geospatial location data marketplace that they are in. So that kind of just become how it be.
Wow. Well, Foursquare is very lucky to have you, and I mean the entire Unfolded team, just a team of all stars, and really, I mean, amazing. That's so congratulations, really.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. So my final question, I would take up your whole day, but I'm not going to, Shan, because I can't. My final question for you is, I ask all of my interviewees to describe a time where they were lost, whether that was in their whether that was physically, or whether that was in their life or career, and how they found their way back again.
Yeah, I think for me, it's kind of pretty obvious. You can probably guess. Is a part where I graduated from architecture school. I, was in architecture for 2 years. I feel like this is not something I probably want to pursue. So at that time, I was just trying to think about, how do I build my career, and how do I really truly do something that interests me, that challenges me, but also, is in a very cheeky way to put it, help the advance of humanity.
Yeah.
So I was trying to see, what are the things that I can do and how can I best utilize my skills. And lucky for me, the company I was working for at that time was it's in Boston. So I lived in Cambridge. I was very close to Harvard. I was very close to the academic domain. And then I went to MIT, I talked to people, I meet people from the media lab, I meet people from architecture school. And one of my friends actually graduated from the same program that I applied. So that kind of just helped me knowing like, okay, this is something I want to do. I actually want to get another master. I want to study a little more and learn computer science because it really interests me, and see how I can, build up these two domains in both design and computer science and find something for that best suit for my dream or my passion.
Wow. That, again, so inspiring for me because, I'm in my second master's. I kind of decided that I love data science, I love computer science. And, I wanted to kind of narrow in on that. And genuinely, I don't mean it in like to kiss your butt. I really genuinely mean you are very inspiring to me. And I followed your career for forever. And yeah, it's just really awesome to have you on the program.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I would say it's really a chain of luck, but the things happen. I happened to take a class that in architecture school that teaches me programming, and realize how much I enjoy.
Sure.
And then even at the company I was working for, I was, instead of drawing architecture plan, I was kind of playing around with this online customization tool, which introduced me more to the concept programming. So it kind of just built up, and I was also lucky enough to get accepted by MIT. And Uber also happened to hire a data visualization person. So it just all worked out. And yeah, I mean, it's, I also look back, I always feel grateful how lucky I was. I happened to meet the right person and make the right decision at the right moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fortune favors the prepared mind. It's partly luck, but also because you are so skilled at what you do. And there are so few people who consider they're data artists. I mean, really, that's, it's amazing. Well, Shan, thank you for your time again, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the program.
Yeah, we always love to talk to people and help them any way I can in exploring their career on their way. Thank you.